In the last tutorial I showed you how to make an NPC that will follow you. The problem with this script is that the NPC runs towards you in a straight line, therefore a simple wall can stop him. So today we'll be making a script that will allow our NPC to avoid obstacles and keep following us. Also, I would like to mention that this tutorial is based on developer.roblox.com article about pathfinding. If something is unclear for you or if you prefer to read instead of listening, I left a link to that page in the description. Without further talking, let's go straight to the video. Okay, so once again we are in the Roblox Studio, and once again first thing we need to do is create a script in our dummy. I will call the script follow the player as I did before. So there are two variables we need to declare at first, and these are the NPC. So I type in local NPC equals game workspace dummy. And the second one is the pathfinding service, which will allow the NPC to avoid obstacles. I will call this pathfinding service, and it equals game get service pathfinding service. And once again I'm going to copy a function here. I wrote this function 2 tutorials ago. I will leave a link to the code in the description, so this is where you can find this function as well as the rest of the code. So now I'm going to use a while true do loop, and there are a few new variables we need to declare. First one is the path, and it equals pathfinding service create path. Okay, so next thing we need to do is getting the closest player as we did before. So player and distance from this player equals get closest player. So the function we just paste it here. So now if there is a player on the map and distance from this player is bigger than 10, then we can compute the path we declared here. So I type in path compute async. And here we need to type in 2 arguments. The first one is the position of our NPC. So we type in NPC primary part position. The second one is the position we want to get to. So we type in player primary part position. So now we need to get waypoints because our path is computed and we need to access the waypoints in which direction NPC will move to. So we type in local waypoints equals path get waypoints. We will use a for loop now. Waypoint in pairs. Waypoints do. And this bit of code allows us to go through every waypoint. So now we type in NPC move to, NPC humanoid first, move to waypoint position. So it will move to the next waypoint one after another. And here are a few things we need to check. So we will use another while true do loop here, and we will check it distances. First distance, which we will just call distance, is a distance from the closest waypoint. So NPC primary part position minus waypoint position magnitude. We used this function few times already. And the second variable of distance, I will just copy this fragment, is distance from player. And we need to change the waypoint position here to the player primary part position. And we need to type in if this distance is smaller than 5, then we need to break the loop. So why I'm doing this is because if we move straight from one point to another, the NPC stops for a while on every waypoint, and we want to avoid this because it just doesn't look good. So when he's 5 studs away from the waypoint, he just proceeds to move to the second waypoint, which is ahead. And now if distance from player is smaller than 10, then force NPC to stop. So NPC humanoid move to. If you remember, we used this fragment of code before too. NPC humanoid root part C-frame multiplied by C-frame new 0 0 minus 3 position. And once again we break the loop. And now we need to put weights so the function doesn't get crashed. We put a weight here and we put a weight here. Okay, now let me put a part here so we can test if this actually works. I will make a wall. Whoops, shadows are glitching out. Okay, so now I've got a wall. I'll set it to anchored and I will just play the game. And as you will see, the NPC won't run straight in the wall, but he will go around. There he is. So if we were using the last script, he would just run into wall like that and just won't do anything. But this NPC is smarter, he goes around. So if I'm too small to jump. If I jump, he just goes around the wall. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you today. If I helped you, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.